Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Graves game. Let's get this show on the road. So, I've been practicing him, and I kind of feel that I have a knack of him now. Or, I have his playstyle mostly, learned. I'm still figuring out some combo kinks and, accuracy and how not to die. That's kind of a lot of things, actually. Anyways, I'm still learning him. But yeah, it's at least good progress considering I rarely played him when he was at his strongest, so hooray. Either way, this game starts off rather strangely. Wukong kills the top lane Udyr, who I don't know why you would go top lane Udyr even in this meta, because you're just kind of vulnerable to everything, but whatever. Yeah, I couldn't kill the Wukong, but I got execution experience. Right now, it's kind of an iffy situation because two opposite lanes are dying, and Graves doesn't really have the best ganking potential. I mean, he's got the damage, but I can't just, CC someone down and side with this wimpy ass slow. I do good damage if I get on top of them, but unfortunately my teammates don't really have the best crowd control. Jhin is probably the one who would probably give me the best crowd control against whoever I'm trying to gank, but the rest of them, no. So it's kind of a bad situation. And the thing is, I picked early. I picked him first, I believe. So my team didn't really compliment me, so I'm just kind of in a bad situation. I also wanted to go for scuttle control and jungle control, but due to the weird decision I made early in the game and because my lanes are losing, I can't really fight the Rammus right now. He's basically globetrotting. And as a result, I have to constantly respond to him, and I can't take control of the map. Fortunately here, though, he decides to turn around while his teammates are trying to run away and takes a huge bit of damage and gets taken down. So we get a kill for that, and we also manage to destroy the Nami. Then we end up trading a kill here because Vladimir gets super aggressive against the Ryze. He does do enough damage for us to be able to bring him down, but it cost him his life too, or slowly. So we basically go 3 for 1. It's a pretty good trade, especially how behind we were. And with us getting the tower, it allows bottom lane to sort of reset and allows them to roam. Like I said, I kind of need Jhin to be able to set things up for me and help, finish off the enemy if I do quite a bit of damage and just not enough. My top lane, like I already mentioned, is just kind of getting crushed. I don't know if you could see the levels here, but Udyr was basically 2 levels behind the Wukong, and you can see a 30 CS clean too. That's pretty bad. And then I have a DC for a while, so yeah, this game is not going so good for me. I'm kind of sad. I was struggling with what kind of item choice I want, because if I go full on damage, I might get just grabbed by the Rammus and destroyed. And I decided to go Phantom Dance instead, just to try to make some distance between Rammus, and hopefully if he ever does catch me, it's far away from the homies. And here's what I mean. I do quite a bit of damage to the Ryze, but because nobody in my team really has any crowd control, he kind of gets away. It's pretty sad. Rammus goes really gung-ho on me, but he doesn't have the damage to bring me down, and eventually gets himself killed. So technically that gank worked. You can give me some credit for that. Maybe not really. So yeah, 4 to 9 is pretty grim, right? Like I said, I can't gain any map control. Graves isn't the best farmer per se in the jungle, even though he can wipe out camps. It's just, until you get some items, they're very wonky, trying to maintain some kind of speed with him. And the ganks aren't going so well. Plus, the enemy Wukong is getting farmed and fed, and you all know what that means. He just kind of annihilates people's health. Thankfully, this Udyr should be grateful that I didn't back off in time and I was paying attention. I get a kill against the Wukong, plus a bounty, and that brings me up, and then I'm able just to rampage towards top lane and destroy this tower, or just do a lot of damage before I decide, you know what, Rammus is coming top lane, he's going to, destroy my butt, so I just run away. So far, from what I can see in the enemy team, they are not completely cohesive. The Rammus is pretty gung-ho, so it's likely that he might be caught off guard, and we will be able to destroy him. So it solidifies my decision to go with the Phantom Dancer, make as much distance, and punish the Rammus for getting a little overzealous. And here's what I mean here. The second I pump my face, he turns to me, it just goes, mad dash towards me. But that separates him from his team, and my team are able just to advance against his. I deal a ton of damage to the Rammus, eventually killing him, only succumbing to the Wukong. If I had fought that better, I might have been able to survive, even after even being able to kill the Rammus. But that's what I mean. This is probably our best bet. This is what I'm thinking towards the game. The enemy Rammus is pretty good at grabbing people, but he gets a little, sorry for that, a little too greedy. And thus, if I put myself in a position where I can run away safely or, sneak attack them, or at least he goes for somebody, the first person he sees, we might be able to ambush some of his squishier teammates. So you're going to see me approaching these fights either from the side, hoping to catch somebody off guard, the Kaiser or the Rise, and shooting them down, or, getting myself as a target of the Rammus. Like here, again, he goes a little too ahead of his teammates, and they don't get a good follow-up initiation on that. They do get a kill on the Soraka, but that could have been so much better for them considering my teammates kind of blatantly walked into them. And then somebody hits the explosive plant and just kind of sacrifices the Wukong. And the Rammus comes back anyways. And once again, he's going to just turn around, get himself too close just to get destroyed. So yeah, this Rammus is a little too greedy. That ends up resulting in the total wipe of the enemy team. They could have just run away a lot sooner, and obviously the explosive rune just kind of got them killed, so whatever that happened with that was a pretty big deal. But yeah, also, yeah, I took the red buff from the Udyr because the Udyr is just not doing very much. At this point, what I'm most scared is the Wukong. If he goes in very clean with his stealth and his E, he could wipe the floor with the Jhin and the Soraka before we get anything done. And with them gone, we're just kind of losing team fights. What I have to try to do is make my smoke screen count. You already saw in one instance where if I used it on top of someone like Rammus, he obviously can't taunt anybody. Or if I use it on Rise, his combo pretty much gets nullified. Here, the Rise gets to turn. Well, I don't know. I'm going to go on the Rise a little bit just to do some pokey damage. And the second I throw the smoke screen on him, he knows he can't continue to fight, so he just has to back away. If I hadn't done that, he could chunk me for some more damage, and I don't think he would have gone for the full-on fight, but it's sort of an example of what I mean. The smoke screen, Graves' smoke screen is probably one of the strongest abilities in the entire game, and it's pretty underrated, or at least not thought of too much. You throw it on the right champion, like marksman or a combo caster, you can completely nullify their entire combo or potential for damage. So, I mean, that's nothing new to anyone who's played this game. But against their composition, like if I throw in a Wukong who's trying to get in range to use his E, and I put it on him before he gets to dash at somebody, I can stop his entire combo, we can react to it. And of course, like I already mentioned, if I throw it on top of Rise, he can't really use his abilities because they're targeted. And on the Rammus, if I toss it on top of him, he might just get disoriented and not figure out who he's supposed to, or who he can taunt. That's my best bet. Anyways, like I said, this is a very odd situation for both teams. The Udyr at this point, despite the fact that he lost the early game pretty badly, got some free farm, is now able to go into pure split pushing mode. My team now has 3 kills too, but to be honest, they were kind of donated to us by that explosive plant. I'm farming as much as I can. My build, I'm still rather unsure about it. And honestly, looking back at it, I regret that purchase of Death's Dance. I believe that's what it's called, because I didn't feel it really did that much. I thought, I should try to get myself some survivability while still packing some damage. Because if you see me when I go in kind of gung-ho, just blasting at people, I do gain quite a bit of health, but I should have possibly gone with just more straight out killer damage. I do eventually buy a Black Cleaver, but I kind of regret not going something like a Ghost Blade too. So I regret this build almost in its entirety. Yeah, you can see this part is very just poor for both sides of the for both teams. We sort of engaged really wonky. I mean, we had a good engage, but then we chased in a bad way, so we got sideswiped by the enemy team, and they killed a couple of us. And then the enemy team re-engaged on us, and we killed the stragglers. So it kind of ended up being a very even exchange, but it could have gone better for either team if we just kind of backed off. At this point, though, the team is sort of breaking down because we're not sure who we're supposed to follow. Some of them want to control Baron and do it. I'm too afraid of the Wukong to commit too much to the Baron. And then here I was trying to sneak in, have a sneak attack and maybe kill somebody, which causes me to get trapped. And I survived for quite a while. Eventually I do get taken down by Kai'Sa, and the whole counter engage by my team was very chaotic, and we get mostly wiped out. Luckily, the Udyr was able to distract a few people, which allows Jhin to then, whittle down at those people trying to do Baron and just pushes them away from it. So that's a pretty good situation, or at least it's the silver lining. They weren't able to get Baron because of the distraction from Udyr and Jhin poking at them. So that was a bad positioning on my part. I got a little bit too ambitious. But hey, we get a sort of minor comeback here. We get the red buff. The enemy team is trying to poke at us. They're also almost as disoriented as us. And here's what I mean. I pop my W so the Rammus cannot taunt me or continue chasing me. And, I just shoot him in the face a little bit. Stupid little armadillo. That's kind of one of the better examples of using W just on a targeted champion. Anyways, same thing. My teammates want to go for Baron, but we're too scattered and we're too uncoordinated. And they just kind of snipe the Vladimir and annihilate him. Then they kill the Jhin, and with that, it's just kind of bad news bears. You're just trying to split push. I tried to steal Baron, but my smite finger was way too slow. I could have definitely stolen it, but I don't know. I just didn't put the cursor on top of the Baron fast enough, and, they took it. So with that, they're basically going to destroy our base now, and there's not much we can do. We had a pretty gimped out Udyr top lane. The enemy team has a really strong Wukong who can basically assassinate anybody right now, including the Vladimir. Though the Vladimir has pulled up, of course, he'll do some Vladimir shenanigans. And that's just kind of it. They have Ryze and the Rammus to trap somebody and kill them. And, yeah, they just kind of pump us. So with that, that's the end for the game. But, I had fun, I guess. And Graves is a cool champion to play, so... And if you liked this video, remember to give it a like. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell up there somewhere so you actually get notifications to my videos because YouTube and stuff.